Hello everyone, and welcome again to the Zelda Universe Mailbag. I am your host James. I will be answering your questions again this week. But first, I would like to point out that I mentioned this last week, but I want to make it clear. I'm only doing like the top 5 questions of each week. It's more of a time restraint issue than I'm not going to answer your question issue. Hey guys, writes Adam. I was wondering if you guys think that Nintendo will ever make a Zelda game that includes a war scene or maybe multiple battles. I think that would be awesome. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that war in a Zelda game doesn't fit. When I think war in a game, I think of real-time strategy like a StarCraft type of game, where you have a huge amount of units that you control, and you just send them off to fight your battle for you. I think Zelda is more of a one-on-one type combat game. But then again, they're planning on changing the formula of the Zelda series this year, supposedly, and quite possibly they could include something like that. But I feel Zelda is a Link takes his sword out and kicks the crap out of everyone in the game. Multiple battles, something like Twilight Princess's Cave of Ordeals was a multiple battle system where you had to go through multiple rooms and fight multiple battles that way. Once again, it was a one-on-one thing, but it was included. I know that's not what you're looking for, but I don't think Zelda's made for that type of gameplay. So, next question comes from John. He writes, in Twilight Princess, when Midna seems to be dying, what is really happening? What does Zelda do to Midna afterwards? Did she die? Because if she did, how does she come back in the fight with Ganondorf? I had a hard time answering this, but I'm going to do the best I can. The way I explained it was Twilight beings are just that, Twilight, and that's the first line of my text answer. Midna is a Twilight being. She is meant to live in the Twilight realm. When she comes over to the Light world, if you notice, she's only a shadow, because that's the only way she could really survive over here. So when Zant throws that huge ball of light toward her, she is cursed, technically. So she starts dying slowly. The game allows you to go find Zelda, and Zelda sees that Midna is more of an asset to you at the moment than she will be, so she sacrifices her light for Midna, allowing her to live in the light world for the rest of the game. Since Zelda is a very powerful being in the Zelda series, she is able to sacrifice herself without killing herself. So what ends up happening is later on in the game when Ganondorf uses her in the battle, he is able to because she's vulnerable by giving up her power to Midna, which is why he is able to take control of her. I hope that answers it. It's very confusing. The next question comes from Chain of Termina. This one is actually site related. What is with the poem? And he's referring to, if you scroll down to any page on the Zelda Universe site, there's a upside down Triforce with the Sheikah symbol in the middle. If you click on it, you are redirected to a poem. I didn't know then, I still don't know now. The poem, I actually found out, was written by Jason, apparently, our wonderful owner. It actually is on a lot of other Zelda sites other than Zelda Universe, and no one really knows why and what it is. Apparently, according to Cody, it's a secret to everyone. The next question actually came from 2 people. There are 2 different questions, but they're the same topic, so I'm going to read. One's from Dylan, one's from Hyrule Monk. I'm going to read the one from Dylan. Why does Nintendo keep America from receiving nearly all of Zelda's spin-offs? All we have gotten is crossbow training. Japan has something against us. They think that we don't really deserve games like that, I guess. It happened with Mario 2, which we eventually got. What he's referring to are the Tingle games. There's 2. I don't think one's been released yet, but for Tingle, it's easy to answer because Tingle is very well hated over here. You won't see a Tingle game over here because of that reason. And the other game that you're referring to, there are only really 2 that haven't come over here, was Tetris Trackers. It actually got inserted into Four Sword Adventure, which was the game it was announced next to, in Japan as Navi's Trackers, but never over here. And I searched and I didn't find a real reason for it. And the last question I got from you this week is from Izzy. The question is about the Zelda storylines. They feel like it's not dramatic enough, and that the game should include real life situations and killing of more characters, apparently. Like, we don't kill enough characters in the series. The reason why you don't see like high-end storylines and dramatics in a Zelda game, or any Nintendo game for that matter, is because Nintendo perceives themselves as family friendly, and that was very evident when the Wii came out. The fact that they were catering to a family rather than the gamer, which put the whole internet up in an uproar when they said that. That's one of the reasons why you also don't see M-rated games on the Nintendo consoles. It's very rare. It was a big hullabaloo when Chinatown Wars came out, the GTA game on DS. Mad World on the Wii, I kind of was shocked that you saw that game on the Wii. That is a very violent game. When you play a Nintendo game, it's very watered down. Adding dramatic cutscenes into Zelda, I think of first off, there were a couple of scenes that were pushing the edge on Twilight Princess. Namely that scene where Link and Ilia are running toward the Triforce, and they have those spooky eyes, and the three doppelgangers come up, and that was a kind of a edgy scene for a Zelda game. And also, I mean, think at the end of that game. How many Zelda games do you actually see like one character who is being possessed by another sacrifice himself to kill that other character, and then, granted, there's like no blood and guts and gore, but Ganon just stopped moving and was dead on the spot. So those are the top 5 questions of this week. I do want to point out, if you have a site-related question, it probably won't get answered in mailbags in the future. If you do send them in, they won't get ignored. I will pass them on to the right people. So until next week, take care.